What is wholesale, and how is that applied to your Amazon FBA business?
Well, wholesale is basically just buying things in volume from either the manufacturers themselves, which can be obviously very heavy in China or other countries, or on a more regional level like wholesalers, distributors, where you're dealing with brokers or something like that. So it's no different than, basically you're going into Target to do RA. Well, they have to get it from somebody too in bulk. And that's either going to be a regional distributor or wholesaler, or directly from the manufacturer. Most likely from the manufacturer for big box stores like that, but for your smaller mid-level stores, they may actually be dealing with more of a regional wholesaler.
I've got a quick question for you. What's the process for an actual product to get into a Target or a Walmart? Does it come from manufacturer directly there, or does it manufacturer, distributor to Target? Do you have any idea how that all works with the retail stores?
I think even some of the big box stores are going to go manufacturer, distributor, and then the retail floor with Target. Just because as big as Target is, they're not the only player in the game. You've got obviously your other big box stores. So obviously, you've got Tide detergent. Walmart's going to sell it. Target's going to sell it. They're going to have to negotiate with the price points as well, and there may only be just so much the manufacturer can actually pump out. Maybe it's a hot product like a like a Star Shower or something last year, and it comes down to a bidding process. Usually that's probably not the case, but I think the smaller you get as far as the product, I think you get more regional, more niche-y.
Would you consider it easy to get into wholesale?
I do. It's it's one of those faux pas where everybody's like, oh no, oh no. Yeah, it's as simple as just going to a show or going online and doing some research. I think a lot of people, we were having this conversation before we started, Chris, about some people are afraid to put themselves out there, whether it's posting in a forum or posting a video of themselves or even introducing themselves and meeting people. I get it, but if you think about it, we all introduce ourselves to new people every day. Your friends of your friends, the person at the grocery store and you're saying hi and you're chatty with. It's the same thing. You got to think about it. We're probably all buyers here in the feed. Wholesalers and manufacturers are all sellers. It's a perfect match. They want you to talk to them. They want your money, and you want to give it to them at the right price points.
Now I know you mentioned one of the benefits to doing wholesale is you couldn't get enough products at thrift stores. Are there any other benefits to why someone would want to switch from spending a lot of their time sourcing from thrift stores, garage sales, pawn shops, maybe even retail stores, over to wholesale? What do you like about it so much, besides obviously being able to get a bunch of products sent right to you?
Well, for one, price points are important. I don't care if you buy one item at a thrift store or you're buying directly from the manufacturer. You're going to want a good price point. So price points are going to be key. Obviously, it's going to help you with your risk. It's going to help you with your profitability. The time savings is huge, and I don't care if you're brand new to this or you're $1 million player watching the show right now. We all have 24 hours in a day. I don't know how you use that or how you segment it, but I would gladly trade money for time at this point in my reselling career. And if you're able to pick up the phone or do a few clicks, kind of like online arbitrage to a degree, you can pretty much order whatever you can within 15, 20 minutes. You're not leaving the house, you're not burning gas, you're not burning time. So time is very valuable, and that's a huge, huge portion of it. Sustainable sales is huge. So imagine you've got 30 items of 10 different products, and they're all fairly good sellers. You're going to sell 10 or 15 a day maybe. You don't have to go out every day and reload it. For the next 30 days, based on your data, that I'm just going to get some sales every day. So even if you just get sick for a week, you're going to be able to sell through that because you've got much more volume. So sustainable sales is huge. It allows you to maybe take more vacations and things like that, because a lot of people worry about the flow of money cutting off, and of course we all worry about that. But if you've got enough wholesale items or items in your pipeline, it's going to draw down at some point, but you're going to be able to sell through it a whole lot better. Being able to order from the beach if you want is great. Obviously, Chris does a lot of outdoor exercises and stuff like that, whether he's biking in the hills. If he's got a signal, he could check an email and just go ahead and email back an order or whatnot. I just got done before we jumped on the show here and just confirmed a large order from my wholesaler. It took 2 minutes. That's all it took. So a lot of advantages with wholesale.
So ASD is coming up this weekend. What exactly is ASD, and how does this relate to your overall wholesale play?
Well, ASD is one of the largest wholesale shows, and it's been going for 50 years, and it brings about 2,800 vendors, and vendors can be the manufacturer themselves, like from China, wholesalers, regional distributors, brokers. Basically, if you're in the game to sell something, you're going to want to go to ASD. ASD is definitely one of the best shows out there because you can get it all. And there's basically like 6 major floors in the convention. You've got your gifts and toys, you've got your apparel, things like that. So it's a massive venue, and I think doing a little bit of research ahead of time can make it a little bit easier for you to navigate the floor, because if you're not able to sell jewelry, maybe you're not engaged if you're on the FBA platform, you're not interested in that, you can just go ahead and avoid that. So it's an amazing show. It's amazing to network. Also, the amount of speakers are there. They have speakers going on constantly, like Jason T. Smith and people like that, and Robin Johnson, and all the big speakers are out there. And it's completely free. All you have to do is just have a registered business. Go ahead and register on asdonline.com, and you can get in there. It's a 4-day show. It runs twice a year, generally in January and August, but they switch up the dates, I think, coming up here.
I guess when I'm thinking of wholesale, obviously this stuff gets sent to you, and then all this time between it getting sent, or you making the deal, it getting sent, you sending it to Amazon, which I assume is happening. What happens to the ROI in this process? I mean, are you guys exclusive on the listings, or is that kind of the goal, be exclusive, or have as few people as possible on the listings? This is part of the research I'm taking.
Good question.
Explain that a little bit, because anytime you deal with RA, for example, whether it's a replen or whatever, you're always running that risk that by the time the replen, or you make your big batch and you send it in, that all that time, and when Amazon splits it off to different warehouses, all time is of the essence, especially with FBA, and ROI can just get cut in half, if not worse. So explain that when it comes to wholesale. I get the whole part about ordering from your house, saving time. That makes all the sense in the world. But wouldn't you kind of still be in the same boat as RA and that other thing that I'm talking about with the ROI thing? Or explain that, and what's the goal of wholesale ultimately on the other side? After you're done buying the items, now you're going to have to make the listings or echo off a listing. Explain that to us a little bit.
We touched on some great points, Chris. First of all, you mentioned it being shipped to you. Obviously, that's a choice, but you can also use a prep service like a Prime Zero Prep. There's 50 of them and growing by the day. So that works really good with wholesale, where I think once you've established a relationship with a vendor or wholesaler or manufacturer, you're getting tired. Maybe you're ordering 500 units at a time, and maybe there's a little bit of prep work involved to get that shipped back out to Amazon. I think once you've spent a few months with your vendor and you realize that they're shipping it properly, they're packing it properly, they're not off on the counts very much, and this and that, and you basically have a good rapport with them, then you can go ahead and make that call and say, you know what, I'm going to make this no touch. I'm going to go ahead and ship it directly to Prime Zero or one of the other many competitors out there. Yeah, you're going to maybe pay about $1 a unit, give or take, what services you need, like polybagging, things like that. But if it's within your margins and the amount of time that you're spending wrapping this stuff or paying an employee to wrap it, it may offset it, particularly if you're using, let's say, a tax-free state like Wyoming or New Hampshire or whatever. If you're not able to use a tax exempt or you don't have one, paying that 8 or 9% sales tax by ordering a product from, let's say, Texas, that is a taxable state, and then having it shipped directly to your prep service in New Hampshire, you're going to save that 8%, which is literally almost an equal offset a lot of the times, depending on the cost of the product. So basically, they're doing all the work for you, and then they're doing the listings and they're sending them right in. So that's a huge advantage. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with large volumes of stuff online or from wholesalers. As far as ROI, I generally see between 30 and 70%. If I had to pick a number, probably closer to 40 to 50. But I think that's where you can start negotiating. And if you're buying larger quantities of things, you should be negotiating. I don't care if you're going to Walmart and you're doing RA and you're picking up 20 or 30 items. Just ask, negotiate, saying, hey, manager, I know this is on sale. I'd like to wipe it off your end cap here. It looks like you're trying to get rid of them. Can you give me throw out a number? They may say no, they may say yes. We know a lot of people, they do say yes. So getting those price points are really good. And my goal this year was to make about 45% return on wholesale, and I just looked at it today for the show, and I'm at 64%, which I think is outstanding for wholesale. I think it's a lot better.
Is that doing your own prep, or is that outsourcing the prep?
I've done my prep because a lot of my wholesalers I picked up in the last 6 months, and I wanted to cycle through and make sure that the quality is there, the counts are there, whatever. But moving forward the next month or so, now that we're coming into the Christmas season, I'm going to go ahead and start farming that out to a prep service because I just won't have the time for it. And it's about the trust first. That part is done. Now, of course, holidays coming up in about 2 months, so I don't want to touch any of it.